Greetings, and thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the TED in Your Head podcast. I'm your host, Ted Moreno, certified clinical hypnotherapist and high performance coach. I'm also a senior staff instructor at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, which is the nation's first accredited college in Tarzana, California, first accredited college of hypnotherapy. In this podcast, TED in Your Head, we seek to liberate ourselves from the negative hypnosis of lack, limitation, and lethargy and pursue a powerful path of personal transformation. And if that is a pursuit that you're interested in, I'll tell you how to get in touch with me at the end of today's show. But for now, let's get into today's episode. And it occurs to me that I never really mention the fact that I'm a senior staff instructor at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute. But I recently had a wonderful experience there, so I guess that's in the top of my head. And perhaps in a future episode, I'll talk about that wonderful experience that I had. Anyway, in 2011, I published a book, and here it is right here. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Letting Go of Negativity and Fear and Loving Life. And the subtext here is what I learned on my journey from hater to appreciator. So this is available at Amazon.com. Shameless plug. Anyway, if I have a couple of copies in my office, I like to give them to new clients. So I had one copy left and I had a new client coming in. So while I was waiting for my client, I kind of thumbed through the book and reacquainted myself with some of the things that I had written back in 2011. And what occurred to me is that this is not a book I would write today. So that was 14 years ago. A lot of things have changed, including my perspective. So I think I would write a different book today, and I just might. Anyway, I did come across some chapters that I thought were clever and interesting, and have to admit, I was kind of impressed with myself. So I thought I would share a chapter with you today and maybe another chapter with you over the course of the next few weeks. So here it goes, a chapter from my book, The Ultimate Guide to Letting Go of Negativity and Fear and Loving Life, What I Learned on My Journey from Hater to Appreciator. So this particular chapter is called The Five Steps for Keeping the Mental Mischief Makers Away. Don't let them in. So, I hate to admit this to you, but when I was younger and much more foolish, I used to open my door to some pretty unsavory characters. They weren't even very likable. I just got comfortable having them around. They were familiar, and I knew what to expect from them, and they didn't ask much of me. And I didn't realize until much later how much hanging around with them was holding me back from what I knew I could be. Anyway, one day there was a knock on the door while I was reading a book by the first self-development author I ever read, Dr. Wayne Dyer. I think the book was Real Magic, a real life changer for me. Anyway, I'm sitting there reading this book and there's a knock on the door. I get up, I open the door to find Cynicism, someone I knew very well, standing there. I was dismayed to see that he had brought negativity with him, who I really despised, especially since he was always wearing that dumb I'm with stupid t-shirt. Hey dude, it's another crappy day. Perfect day for getting messed up, Cynicism said. I noticed he had brought along a six-pack of his favorite beverage, Not Wiser Light. I don't know why. Maybe it was the Dyer book. But I said, sorry guys, not today. Negativity stepped forward and whined, don't be like that, homie. Let's throw back a few and complain about the system. I hate being called homie. No, I said, you guys get out of here. Now, I'm busy. They shuffled off, cynicism grumbling, thinks he's too good now. I sat back down and I felt weird. This was uncomfortable for me. I've always been a nice guy. I pretty much let in whoever wanted to come in and let them stay as long as they wanted. Chasing those kind of things out of my life was a bit uncomfortable. Right then, there was another knock at the door. I got up, irritated. I threw open the door expecting negativity and cynicism, but instead, possibility was standing there. I'd seen her a couple of times, but didn't really know her too well. Hey, she said, I thought I would drop by since I was in the neighborhood. Mind if I come in? Sure, I replied, but tell me, what kept you from coming by before? I've tried, she said, but I make it a point not to hang out with those other two clowns who just left. Cynicism and negativity still come by and knock, but most of the time I just don't open the door. Pretty soon they go away. The few odd times that I do let them in, it's because I'm too tired to say get lost. So I make sure they don't stay very long. I haven't seen resignation and despair in quite a while. I gave fear the key to my place one time, but I'm in the process of changing the locks. More and more, I find myself entertaining possibility, who is always welcome, along with hope, belief, and courage. Needless to say, life is much better. So, here are 5 simple steps to keep those mental mischief makers from massively messing with your mind. And the first one is stop complaining. The triple M's are attracted to complaining like ants to sugar. They seem to have some special radar to help them find complainers. First, they'll allow you to feel justified, and then they'll just move in and take over the place. Second, plant gratitude outside your front door. You know how some animals will not come into your garden if you have the right herbs planted to kind of keep them away from eating your veggies? Gratitude is repellent to negativity, and in large enough amounts does a great job of keeping the other jokers away too. Number 3, take regular inspiration vacations. Not necessarily leaving your home, but read, hear, and see things that inspire you. There's no way that you will even hear those troublemakers knock if you're involved in something that lifts you up and inspires you. Keep your mind in that place where your highest ideals reside. Also, use incantations. So these are the magic spells that keep negativity, resignation, fear, cynicism, doubt, and despair away. Incantations are what you say to yourself to create what you want. So, in other words, affirmations. For example, I can do this. I have what it takes. I'm up to this challenge. I'm attracting money right now. Creativity flows through me. To make them real powerful, write them down and put them near a candle and light the candle. Serious. I'm not kidding. Ritual. Put some ritual into your life. Say these things 100 times a day. Really. Or at the very least, say them a couple of times when you first wake up in the morning within the magic 30 minutes of waking up. That's when your mind is very open to what you say to yourself. Always be up to something. If you're up to stuff, making stuff happen, dreaming, hoping, planning, taking action, then you'll be too busy for those pesky mental mischief makers when they come to visit. You'll see them for what they really are. They're a distraction and a diversion from making your unique contribution to life. So it's important that we keep our mind protected from mischief. And the way we want to do that is we allow our minds to get more familiar, more comfortable with the good stuff through what we allow into our mind, through reading or listening or people, as well as what we say to ourselves. And don't forget, hypnosis is simply using the power of suggestion to help you reprogram your subconscious mind if indeed your subconscious mind is not working for you the way you want it to. If you are interested in a complimentary phone consultation, you can reach out to me at tedmoreno.com/contact. There's a little email thingy in there. You can email me and request your complimentary consultation. I'll get back to you within 48 hours. We'll talk, find out if hypnotherapy is right for you, answer any questions you have, and if you're ready, we'll get started. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, you can read this as a blog at tedmoreno.com/blog. You can watch it on YouTube if you're not doing that right now at Ted A. Moreno. And you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you're hearing, please feel free to leave a review or a like or something. Thanks so much. Take good care of somebody or something, but even more importantly, take good care of yourself. Talk to you soon. Bye.